Shalom. Page 97, chapter 28, Shaar HaEmunah, written by the Middler Rebbe. Now what we're talking about is Hasagas HaMahus, and this is the second general level in comparison to the first general level, which relates to Hasagas HaMetzias. Hasagas HaMetzias represents understanding on the existence of Hashem, and Hasagas HaMahus represents on the essence of Hashem. And what we were just talking about was that at Kriyas Yam Suf, the Yidden, at the splitting of the sea, the Yidden left Mitzrayim, went through the sea and everything, and Hashem, destroyed the Mitzrayim over there along with Pharaoh and everything, and destroyed their chariots and took the chains off the Yidden in order so that they could serve Hashem freely the way they need to, and so on. And in doing so, Hashem took them out of the Nun Shari Tumah, the 50 gates of impurity. He took them away from the Yud Kesar and the Klippas Noiga, the 10 crowns of Klippas Noiga that were in Egypt, and Pharaoh, of course, is the main Keser, the main crown of that. And through Hashem taking the Yidden out, and specifically at Kriyas Yam Suf, the Yidden were able to have Hasagas HaMahut. They're able to have an understanding on Hashem's essence. Whereas before, it was more like just like Hasagas HaMetzias, and even nowadays we have a bit of Hasagas HaMetzias. We understand the existence of Hashem. We look around, we know Hashem exists. Just by perceiving and understanding divine providence, Hashgacha Pratis, that happens on an everyday level. We see it all the time. But nevertheless, with the Yidden at Egypt, and this is when they left Egypt, and specifically when they crossed the Kriyas Yam Suf, over there they had Hasagas HaMahus. So we're going to get into that right now, which is 16 lines from the bottom. V'zehu madrega habeis Briyas HaMahus shalamayla meriyas v'hasagas b'metzias levad. And so the specific level where they had the Hasagas HaMahus, they're actually seeing the essence of the Creator, of Hashem Himself, which is obviously much higher than of just seeing and understanding on Hashem's existence. Aval zehu gamkein b'shnei madregos ha'alef. Nevertheless, this level of understanding and perceiving Hashem's essence has two levels to it. The first one is hu begiloi Shenigla Alehem b'Mitzrayim, that Hashem was revealed to them in Egypt, ayadei bechinas matzah. So over there, the matzah. What happened with matzah that the Yidden were able to have some sort of a Hasagas HaMahus? Shenikra michla demehamanusa. This is called the food of faith. Okay, very nice. So how is that having a Hasagas HaMahus? How is that compared to the Kriyas Yam Suf, where the Yidden were able to have, true understanding on Hashem's essence? How is it, okay, you eat matzah, now all of a sudden you're going to tell me that through eating matzah I'm going to have like a similar kind of thing to what happened to me over at the splitting of the sea? I mean, I saw Hashem split the whole sea and everything, and we're talking about a splitting of an ocean, right? And I saw the Pharaoh and all his army and army men and everything get drowned by the ocean, while the Yidden were saved and were able to cross it freely, not to mention all these other miracles that were happening, cloud of glory and so on and so forth. And you're going to tell me that the eating of the matzah is going to somehow be related to that same level of revelation that Hashem gave me over at the Kriyas Yam Suf? So what's going on over here? Okay, Kuniz Krael. Shemer bebechinas mahus va'atmus. It actually, at that level of eating matzah, specifically at the times of Egypt, we get a revelation, a shining from the mahus va'atmus, from the essence of God Himself, the Abba, which is called Father, which represents on Chachma Ilah, which represents on the highest level of Chachma. Okay, that's interesting. How is that? So according to everything we've mentioned before, of all the bechinas halabsha bekatnus levad, but the essence that comes through the eating of the matzah, and it comes through Abba, which represents Chachma Ilah, the essence as it shines through us as we are eating the matzah, as we were in Mitzrayim, it comes through his labshus, it comes through in clothing, it comes through a garment. So it's not as great of a level. There's a bit of a garment over there that the mahus va'atmus encloses itself within the matzah. Lavad. Ki inyan Hatinuk shiyoida likros abba chulu. Just like the small child, he knows to call his father after he's tasted the taste of wheat. So there's something essential going on to the child that allows himself, that has now given himself the understanding to be able to call his father, Father, and that's specifically through tasting of the wheat, specifically through tasting, and this represents on matzah. So now when we eat matzah, we can call our Father in heaven, Hashem our God, Father. So somehow we recognize him. Somehow we're getting some sort of a hasagas mahus over there, albeit through his labshus, albeit through the clothing. Okay, let's go on further. Knis Kra'el. So that's the first level. The second level is going to be higher. Let's v'habes b'chinas rihus rius mahus v'atzmus mamish. And the second level, which is much higher, is the seeing of the essence itself. Whoa. Shlo ayadei hablab shebekatnus the matzah. And it's not through going through the narrow bridge of matzah that we are able to see the essence of the Creator. V'zeh haya b'kriyas yam suf. And this happens specifically where we're able to see the essence of Hashem without a garment, without his labshus. That happens specifically over at Kriyas Yam Suf. Shehu ma'ayin ha'olam haba. And this is similar to what's going to be at Olam Haba. Not that in Olam Haba we're going to eat matzah all the time and we're always going to be constantly splitting the sea and everything. It's similar to it, meaning like this. Not to get confused now, we're specifically talking about the splitting of the sea. That just like at the splitting of the sea when the Yidden left Mitzrayim, and there was the seeing of the essence of Hashem on that level, same thing too in Olam Haba, we're going to be able to see on the essence of Hashem on a constant level, and we're just going to go up and up and up and up and up. It's going to be good. V'loi kamoi b'matan Torah. And this was not like it was at Matan Torah, meaning the revelation, in fact, over at the Kriyas Yam Suf was a bit higher than what happened in Matan Torah. Kabalt. That's an incredible thing. So a quick question that the attentive reader could ask is, wait a second, if I got a revelation of Hashem where I could see the essence of him specifically at the splitting of the sea, what's the point of Matan Torah b'chlal? I'll just have this revelation and go zag v'zunt. I'll be done with it. Well, obviously the whole purpose is that we need to understand and know the Torah and mitzvahs. So why would Matan Torah then be sort of like on a lower level? Then how can it be on a lower level than what happened at the Yam Suf? Now, what purpose did the Kriyas Yam Suf serve? You could say it's a preparation, but how can it be like higher than Matan Torah? I don't know. Let's see. V'loi k'moi b'Matan Torah sheyeh giloi mahus va'atmus lo b'riyas chushias d'ma seichel ha'am riyas zehu b'riyas ha'ayin ruchnias d'neshama. So the seeing that happened over there at Matan Torah was a seeing with your intellectual eye, as we've said earlier, which is lower than what happened over at the Kriyas Yam Suf, that we were able to see with our physical eye and say, Zeh Keli, that we were able to point with our finger and say, this is Hashem. That the Jewish people, the entire nation, what did they see over there? They saw with their over at Matan Torah, they saw with their seichel, they saw with their intellectual eye and their spirituality that's on the neshama, and they saw Hashem and they experienced Hashem. Not to the same degree as the revelation that took place at Kriyas Yam Suf. Al Kalpani, Knis Kra'el. Aval loy b'riyas ayin hagashmi b'Kriyas Yam Suf. But this was not the physical seeing that took place at the Kriyas Yam Suf. He b'riyah chushias, which was a riyah chushias, which was a seeing of human seeing. D'zehu Moshe Kasav Ra'isa Shifa, that even the maiden herself saw Hashem and was able to see the Muhus Va'atmus in a realistic sense of Hashem himself. Ra'isa Mamish, seeing an actuality, Matam, above reasoning, Hanis Kre'el. Okay, stop there.